session to you, Priya.
Thank you, Julie. Thank you very much. So let me first share my screen. Okay. Okay, just wanted to check whether this is the one. Okay, can you see?
Yes, we can.
Okay. Okay, thank you for the introduction, Julie. Thank you very much for inviting me for this the special project management session here. And I'm very happy to see a lot of ladies and happy Women's Day to all of you, and also for the men who are supporting us in every way possible. So thank you guys. And Julie has given me an introduction, and I have been with Pfizer for a long time. So between me and Pfizer, it is, though it is more like a consultant kind of a thing, we are very, very close to heart with Pfizer. We have been working there in the US and also continued here. And I think I worked till 2010 with Pfizer. So that's a long journey for me and my husband, Karthik Ramamurthy. So let me start. So this is going to be a very, the session on don't think it's a project management. So I'm going to give you Gyan for, it's a 30,000 feet kind of a thing, which, you know, you will forget everything once I am out of the screen. So it is not going to be like that. So this is going to be some of the tips, which Julie mentioned. So it's from our book. So we have written a book in 2017 and it got released during the project management Indian National Conference in Chennai. So I'm going to take some tips from there, and which will be very useful to you in your everyday project management thing. And Julie also told me that most of the people here are like 10 years plus experience. So because I was basically debating whether it needs to be project management or a motivational kind of a thing. So she said people already have a lot of motivation. So I want that from you guys. And I am sure that you cannot sleep during this time, because, you know, my voice will be like so loud. And even though it is a virtual conference, my voice won't allow you to sleep. So that much guarantee I can give you. So let's start. So this is the first question I have. Okay, Julie, what I was planning is some of the things which I was thinking, you know, maybe they could enter in a chat box or something so that, you know, I could see what they are answering. So is that possible? Because I want it to be more of an interaction session than, you know, because it is very difficult for in the virtual sessions to make them motivated and be motivated too. So some of the things, you know, I will just get it from your chat box. Okay, so some questions I have, so during the thing. So this one, I know that it is a Monday, so I will just answer on your behalf. Yes, right. And as project managers and also the project members of the team, we are all stressed most of the time. Okay, so here is some kind of a teaser I have for Monday afternoon for you to work a little bit on this. So here is a clue for you to, you know, just solve. So don't think, you know, I'm giving you a huge kind of task to do. So this is a crossword kind of a clue. So think crosswords. So you know how crosswords looks like in a newspaper, and think anagrams for, I don't want to ask too many questions because it will become a little problem during the virtual kind of a session. So anagram is basically you take some portion of the clue, you rearrange them and you will get the answer. Okay, so here the clue is seven-letter word and another 7-letter word. So you have two words, 7, which you have to take from this somehow met Japan grocer. So somehow is something, you know, you are going to say. So this particular 14-letter word coming after this, you are going to find the answer to that. Okay, so for you to help with the answer, I'm just giving you a clue. So if let's say attack grew help, you could basically do an anagram on this, which the answer will be Hewlett Packard. You understand, right? So that's an anagram. So you take portion of the clue and then rearrange the letters and you get the answer. Okay, so the one clue I would say is most of you guys are most of the people, the senior people in your organization. That is the clue I would like to give. So can somebody, if you know the answer, you can put it in the chat box. Any answers so far? So this is the clue. So I just give you. So these three together will form the answer. Somehow is you are rearranging it. That is why there is a somehow here. To get our job, it's another clue. So most of your job is this. Anybody? Manager, you're almost there. You add something to it. I don't know whether it is too much of a clue. So it is very related to what we are talking about. So so you can just add and put. Yep, there you go. Okay, Ram, that's wonderful. Great job. Okay, so I just want it to be more interactive. So that's why, I just wanted to add these things. Otherwise, it becomes a kind of, monologue and I'll be talking all the time and you'll be listening and saying, oh my God, when is it going to end? Okay, so now with this, let's see just what we are going to cover here. So we know that the projects are challenging these days, especially the project, the kind of times we are going through. So vitamin yam, so I'm going to talk about it. And then the tips from our book, like I said, I will also mention the name of the book and everything. And some of the tips which will really help you with your career success. And then we'll have a Q&A session, okay? So Julie told me that it is going to be a very short session, like, 20, 25 minutes, not more than that. So I will limit it within that. So I'll just have a summary, okay? Okay, so the projects we have, we have complex scopes, we have, like very compressed kind of timeline, deadlines we have, and also a tight budget. So we have all these things, and especially during this pandemic period, the kind of communication we have to go through. It's all, like actually, I would add that as one more of the problems we have with our modern projects, especially during the pandemic. So with all these things happening in our projects, it is very, very difficult to succeed in our project, right? So if you look at this chaos report from the Standish Group, so this is the kind of success and the failure rate. See this? See how much the successful projects, it's still, almost the same. 29% is, by success, what I mean is it is not just providing it to the client, it is also within time, within budget, within all the scopes they have asked for, and the quality. So if you put all four together, even if one doesn't come, it is not a successful project. So most of our projects, we know that, in our any concern you take, any kind of domain you take, it is very challenging. You cannot really go with the same budget or go with the same time frame, and you have problems. So this is the kind of success rate you have as per the Standish Group. So in which case, project failure is something, you are facing every day or, every other month, whenever we have a release with our client, right? So project failure it's something we cannot, you just say that I am always successful. You can't say that, right? So we actually, me and my husband Karthik, we went to a research on this project failure. So this is the book we wrote, Say Yes to Project Success. So the rationale of the book is basically we wanted to go through various polls which we have for project failure. What are all the various factors that are the reasons for project failure? So we went into 40 plus global reports, and we actually applied some weightages, and we came up to this practical solution book, which is basically to succeed from your project failure. So project failure factors, and it is a 52 chapters we have, so 52 real life stories. The book goes like, it is not a kind of yarn. We go like a story, a project manager facing a problem. I mean, he goes, what is the situation he is in, what is the problem he faces, and how he overcomes, he or she. So that is how this book is written, and everything is practical approach. And more than that, we have 105, apart from us, totally 108 experts who have written their experiences on every particular chapter we are talking about. If it is about communication, it could be about scope, it could be about time. So multiple things, how they have faced. So every chapter will have two experts, if we call it expert insight. So they will talk about that particular situation, how they have handled. So it is not just Karthik and Priya's approach of how you face a project and how you come up with a solution. It is more of the experts also giving you the kind of how you deal with the problems and how you can succeed. Okay, so this is the vitamin yum I'm talking about. So anybody can guess what is yum? Guys, you have a chat window. Okay, I'll still wait. So project success is very challenging. Like I mentioned, it is very, very challenging, and especially the tough times. It is not only about pandemic, it is also about the kind of expectation from the, the clients. M is, no, M is not money. Yeah, actually vitamin M for our everyday life is money. I know without salary we can't survive. But there is something else to it, especially when you deal with the teams. Okay, that's what we are talking about. So maybe one or two guesses I will take. Okay, so project success, like I said, in tough times, it is very, very challenging. And maybe I'm getting you some clues here. So the stress, because of the stress, it causes a lot of conflicts. And, you basically, it's not a fight, but it could be small things which the development team will, go to the testing and say, hey, you have not done this, you have not done this, and the same with the design and all the, within your team, outside the team, a lot of conflict happen. That totally demotivates them. Somebody got the answer? Because I have a clue here. No. Okay, motivation. Arun, good job. Okay, so that is what I'm talking about. The motivation is very, very important, and especially when you are a project manager, senior project manager. See, the problem is when you go a little high, you need to motivate yourself. So you need to motivate your team, and you need to motivate yourself. That's very, very important, because demotivated teams, they rarely deliver the successful results. Because if you are not motivated, it is without anything you can succeed, but not with motivation. Motivation is very, very, it's a very important key to success. Okay, let us go to the tips now. So I'm having this as a SIR approach. SIR approach is its situation. Situation is basically, when I give a tip, it is basically, it talks about what is the situation there. It could be a project, what is going on in the project, and where exactly you are fitting in. And then you have the impact. Impact means what is the negative impact, which is the impact of the situation, what happened really for the project manager to think. Okay, and then we have the resolution. Resolution is how you can fix the problem. So that's what that is the technique I'm going to use. So with every tip, I'm going to say what is the situation. It could be a kind of, I'll just say this is the kind of project they are working on, this is the kind of vendor they have, and what is the real impact of this particular, what is the problem which the team is facing, the project manager is facing, and what is the resolution he got. Okay, let us start it with why. That's my first step. Okay, anybody has, see, I'm not going to leave you. There is one more question here. So anyone knows, or you can Google. Google God is there. So who's the author of this book? I want the Google keys to go even quicker. Okay, just let me just, because I don't want to wait too much. So Simon Sinek. So Simon Sinek, he says, any kind of situation you have, you just have a question, why? Why should I do it? Why should I do this project? Why should I go to the office? Why should I go to the office? We all have a reasons, right? We all have our own reasons. Why should I do this project? So you need to have an understanding of why this particular implementation project is done, why this particular development project is done. So you need to know the basic idea of why the client wants this particular project. If you don't think that way, then you won't be able to really progress in your project, because you won't be able to understand the main reason why this project got created. Okay, so that's why we say start with why. So let's say, this is a project like me and Julie were involved in. It's a multi-vendor kind of setup. Okay, it's a kind of implementation project which is going on. And you know what happens? The stakeholders are there in, like, when we were in Pfizer, we had stakeholder, the vendor, the deliverable partners we have from Accenture, we had from Accenture, Cognizant, you name it, they will have it, all the Satyam, then Satyam, we had Thirdware, we had so many people. So this particular project was involving all these partners together so that they could finish this project for the vendor, which is Pfizer. Okay, so this is what was happening every day. What is this? It's a tug of war. So can you win in a tug of war? Maybe you can win, and you can win prizes when you attend a tug of war. But actually, you will not be, if this is the kind of situation you have in project, you won't be getting the results you really want. And ultimately, the client won't be satisfied, right? So this is the kind of situation. And because of this, it is actually, the project is going for a toss, and all the milestones are getting delayed. So this is the kind of situation we have. Okay, so the particular project manager is going like this. Oh my God, what am I going to do? So when the team members are pulling in multiple directions, what is the main key? The project manager has to sit with all the partners and say, hey guys, you need to look into the big picture. So this is what I want. In fact, I still remember in one of the town hall meeting we had in Pfizer, this particular gentleman, Mr. John, he just came and he showed a video and he said, you have to promise me that this next 20 seconds of this video, you won't close your eyes. And it showed a video of a cancer surviving patient and how that person was before the treatment. It was like, you actually, I couldn't even see 5 seconds of that, but Julie, you remember that video? So this is the kind of person, and after the treatment, how she looked and how healthy she was. So it's basically before and after kind of a video, and I couldn't see beyond 5 seconds. So the reason I'm talking about the big picture is, see, everybody knows Pfizer is a pharma company, right? But he wanted to make an impact on showing that particular video which talks about one of the drugs. So I don't want to go into all the drugs and everything. But what I'm trying to say is, this is the kind of So you guys, so in fact, he told us, you guys are going to help me development of this because we are the IT hand of the Pfizer client. Okay, so he said you are in the development of the drug, so you guys help me get this thing manufactured and getting it available to all the users all over the world. So the kind of impact it creates on the people who are working for Pfizer India, it's amazing, See, that is the thing. So when you go to the project in the kickoff meeting or whatever, they talk about the big picture. Why is this project important? So the high level, the big picture, if they are able to get that, then it is then it is easier for the partners or the people who are working on the project to understand where we are coming from, why this project is all about. So that case, especially the virtual teams, because you cannot have everybody sitting in one place, right? Especially when you are having virtual teams all around the world, the big picture, having it impacting you, that you are very important for this particular project. So making people realize that they are actually developing a important thing, which is the key thing for the client. So that is the kind of big picture they need to understand. So you have to think like a CEO, right? The CEO has the high mission. So you need to think like as a project manager, I need to think that, okay, I have like 10 different partners I need to work for this particular project. So I'm going to think myself as a CEO of this particular project, right? So you can be CEO, you can be CEO of your own house, you can be CEO of your own project, right? So what will the CEO do? He will look at the big picture. He will say, okay, this is what it is going to be. So you make your team understand that this is the final thing. This is why we are taking this project. This is why we are developing this project. And then you can talk about, so this is the particular portion which is very important. So you can talk to the individuals. See, before talking to the individuals, see, you need to have everybody sit in one place or everybody in a con call and make them understand why this project is. See, that's why the start with why is very, very important. You need to understand why this particular project is being developed or being implemented or being tested. Okay. So you communicate it. It is very, very important that the big picture is getting communicated across the teams. So make it aspirational, in fact, in some of the kickoff meetings, which I have attended in Pfizer, they have it, like a typical kind of sports event. So in fact, I still have one of the balls which they gave for one of the implementation projects. So the project logo will be on that ball, so they'll just throw it all around. So it's just going to make an impact and make people understand that it is a very important project. Okay. So you have to start it as early as possible. You don't have to wait for half a time and then say, hey, I'm going to make you understand the big picture. You already lost half the time, right? So you need to start it early and keep at it. So every time you have to emphasize on it, and then you can pull together and we can row in the same direction and we can achieve project goals. Okay, so this is my first tip. Look at the big picture. Okay, second, so this is going to be some game. So again, I will ask you to type it in. So take a minute, you just look around your room or wherever you are sitting. I'm sure everybody is working from home, right, Julie?
So no, Priya, like people are in office and office.
Okay. It doesn't matter whether it is office room or it is your own house or your own house hall, wherever you are. So look around and make a note of everything which is red. It could be of any color. It could be cherry red. It could be ruby red. It could be pink, or it could be some kind of a reddish thing. Okay. So got it? Okay, 1 minute over. So person who can recall the most, they will win prizes. Okay, so you have to give some prizes for them, Julie. Okay, now close your eyes. Okay, close your eyes. I can see some people not closing their eyes. Okay, close your eyes. Can you mention the most green objects? So don't come and like have fight with me and say you said red objects, but you are asking for green objects. Can anybody at least list 2 or 3? Yes, no, at least I wanted yes or no in the chat box. Okay, so this is what we often do to our teams. You understand where I am coming to? So we always want to finger point. Some problem happens, hey, you were the one who did. You were the one who last said, I will do this, that. There are some chat things. Oh, my background, that's very good. Good. Okay, green switch, that's very good. See, the reason I am talking about is, when you said red, only the red will be in your mind all the time, right? So the green won't come. So people sometimes, when I do this in a normal kind of a session, they'll say, hey, no, you said red. Why? How can you change your mind and say green now? See, the thing is, we often find mistakes. We readily find mistakes. But do we appreciate people? Do we? Not enough as, it's the same, not enough as the kind of mistakes we, find with people. So constant criticism, it kills motivation, right? So always, when there are people who just say, okay, you didn't do this, you didn't do that, last time you took leave, you came late. All the time you talk about only the red. And as HR, Julie will know this lot, right? So the problem is, you also need to appreciate. So I'm not trying to say that don't point out mistakes. All I am saying is when people do good things, okay, so you appreciate it. So for example, great catches is one of the chapters in our book. So this is the cartoon we have for the book, okay. So catch people doing the right thing. So when somebody comes, say for example, it could be as simple as it's one of the team members, their birthday, okay. So somebody has spent some time at least organizing something. See, it is not always HR who organizes. You in your own team, you will organize some small. So somebody has gone to get some cake, or somebody has gone to get some balloons or something. So you just, as a project manager, so it need not be a project manager. It could be even the project team member. They could say, hey, that's great, Da. You have taken you have taken some initiative, right? It's an initiative because you don't have to do it. So sometimes people will say, why should I do it? Let somebody take. So you have taken that one step. So that is an appreciation. That really needs an appreciation from a project manager or even from a project team member. Okay, so appreciate the ideas. Right, that's very important. So the initiative, it could be a small initiative, it could be a small idea they give, or it could be the dynamism, kind of like going there, organizing things. So all that is dynamism. So all those things need to be appreciated. That's very important because in a project, there are always kind of situations where you are answerable to your boss, you are answerable to the client. So during that time, you always have stress. And you have all around, you will be like doing this. And in that time, you will always find fault with people. But I'm not saying don't find fault with people, but also when they do good things, you appreciate them. It's just a small thing. It's a small token of love. You just show it to people that you care, because that is very important. So make it a habit. Just appreciation, it has to come as a habit, because I'm not trying to say not every project manager is like this, but most of the people, they are totally caught in their own kind of situations. Everybody has their own problems. Nobody in this world is like saying that 100% happy, right? Everybody goes through something or other here or there. So try to make it a habit to appreciate people. It could be in your team, it could be in your team, it could be in your department, it could be in your office, it could be somebody in your house. Like I'm not saying husband appreciating the whatever the wife has cooked, it is also appreciating something, the husband has done. It is mutual. It cannot be always one-sided, right? It is always appreciating it. Your own kid, it could be, you are being with your mom and dad, so you could even appreciate them. It doesn't matter. So whoever it is, so that is why I said it is life and career success. So I'm not only talking about the office situation, I'm also talking about your personal, because we also have a life, because that is more important. Of course, we earn money because of what we do in the office, right? So it is very important for us to catch people doing the right thing. So that's, like I said, small wins. So you don't have to wait for a huge win. Small wins. Okay, small milestone I have done. Okay, just go for a party. You don't have to spend it from your project budget. You can just say, okay, I'll just have a cup of coffee with everybody. I'll have a, not pizza party. It could be a small samosa party. It could be small wins. The thing is, the mood is what really makes things, right? When you are in the kind of, like motivating kind of mode, so everybody in positive spirits, you could really excel the world. So that's what I'm trying to say. For example, appreciation circle, we call it in our office. So appreciation circle is nothing but you just sit in fact, we could do it with you, Julie, because this is something, we do from our key results. So we just make people sit in a kind of circle, and you just write about everybody. Let's say I am sitting next to you. I can write, there is one paper. You don't have to have a big notebook. It could be just one paper. You just write about one person. You just, when I pass it on to somebody, so they need to write about me. Okay, so they just write like something that is a positive thing. It could also that really changes. It could be very small thing. Say you are smiling. That could be one great thing. So on seeing you, I get motivated. That could be one, that really changes, That is the kind of appreciation circle we have. And we just pass it on. And at the end of this, the particular name I will have Priya and then middle. So whoever this particular paper gets passed, they will write about me. Okay. So the same way you will all get at the end of the circle. So let's say we have 10 people. At the end of people writing about everybody, you will have a paper where people have written all about you. It's all appreciating. So on a dull day, see, you always have some dull days, or in the morning itself, it's small. You already say, okay, Monday is, oh my God, I have to go, and Monday blues is already there, and you got girlies from your project manager for something or other. So when you are having that kind of a situation, the thing is, you just read that paper. That boosts you like anything, because people are talking really good about you. Okay, so that really motivates your spirit, and you will be like, whatever girl is, see, anyway I'm getting it, so I don't have to really worry about it. So that is very, very critical, and appreciation should become a habit. And short weekly or fortnight sessions will really, even during virtual sessions, you can do it. You can write in a chat window, or, like you can just take a photo and send it to that person. You can write something and send it. So these are things, small things that could really make you motivated. And also, these appreciations can be individually mailed, or it could be even sent as a group and say people, like, oh, this is great, and I am seeing a lot of positive energy going through this. So the project manager can really make people motivated and appreciated. See, this is one of the appreciation session we had during our 2012 project management PMI Chennai conference. So at the end of the conference, previous day we had a 3-day conference, and the next day we all, it was somewhere in, it's not Pondicherry, it is, I think, Mahabalipuram. So we went there and we had a appreciation circle, and we had this photo which was taken, and it got printed individual names. If you see, so it is his book. So we had an individual photo, and the team photo will be there. And this particular Suresh, he will, this will only talk about him. So people have written all about him. So that is the kind of appreciation book. In fact, I still have my book, and every time I feel like in doubt, I'll just read them, and that gets me motivated. Okay, so again, we are coming back to the stress. So it's a branding project. Okay, so this happened to one of my project clients. So it's a branding. Actually, we were consulting for a branding client. So what happened is this particular team member, he's a very good guy, and he is very, very creative. Of course, you need to be creative in a kind of branding client. And what happened is suddenly nobody was able to connect him. This guy went missing for 2 days. And it's a big chaos, and there is one project which has to be delivered on, I think this happened on Saturday, and I couldn't find him on Monday also. And Wednesday, we have a deadline. It's a big deadline, and we didn't know where he has worked on, and we don't know the status. And, like it is, we didn't know what to do. And the project manager is behind the other members, and we don't know. And he was like shouting at the top of the pitch. And then we were actually consulting to this particular client. And this guy came to me and said, Priya, we don't know what to do. This is what the situation is. And then I asked the project manager, okay, normally how is it? Because we don't join in every meeting they have. So he said, no, he's very good. He's damn good. He doesn't even joining over phone. He won't delay even a single minute. He will join even 5 minutes before. That's the kind of person. So then I told the project manager, then looks like there's a problem. So it is not that he doesn't want to tell you that there is a problem. It is some kind of a problem. So you need to look at, like if you have the place, and thankfully somebody knew where he lived, and somehow we got a trace of him, and it looked like his dad was almost in the final stages, and he never told anything about his dad, and he's in the this happened 4 months back or something. So he was in the ICU, and he had COVID. And it is like already he had some problems with the lungs and everything. So it was a terrible, terrible situation. And the problem is as you know, the phone, it just goes out on a charge, and you may be thinking that without a phone, how can somebody survive? But he survived because there's a kind of situation he has. Mom is also bedridden at home. There is nobody to take care. There is no relatives. So this guy has not told about his family situation also, right? So we don't know what really happened. So after this project manager, he vaguely remembers, yeah, I remember this guy was like this. So he was trying to recollect because normally, like you don't look at all the negative. It's not negative. It is some kind of a serious problem the person has till there is a need for it, right? So basically, so then he said, yes, I understand that he had a problem. And in fact, then this guy looked into the Facebook where this guy is tagged. He is not putting any post, but his friends have tagged saying that we are praying for his dad or something like that. So during this kind of a situation, empathy is very, very important, because you just cannot go and shout at the person and say that, how can you do this? How come you are absent when we have a very important deliverable to the client, right? So you can't do that. So we need to understand people. So we are not robots. We have feelings, right? So that is what differentiates us with any different animal or something like that, right? So you need to ask what I would have done if I were in his situation, right? So that's the empathy, right? So you need to, when you have this kind of, even though it is a project related or any kind of thing, you need to empathize with the person you are trying to blame. So that's very important. And you really get valuable perspective. So you don't have to agree with what the person does, but at least you can understand why he does it. Because the understanding is very important. Because if I am looking at my perspective and if somebody is looking at their perspective, we won't match, right? Because my perspective is totally different from that person's perspective. At least then what I should do is I should empathize. Okay, what if I was in his position? So what will I do? So that's all those things which he has done. It actually makes sense for you because you are in that kind of a position. So then when I say empathy, people will say, then what if, see, I can understand his situation, but he also won't understand my situation. So what will I do? So sometimes when people say you have to force empathy, then there are situations where people are not understanding you. Let's say I'm a project manager and I'm just saying that, see, there's no there is this weekend you have to come, see, at least during the 2 days, at least 8 to 10 hours I want. So I'm just trying to make you understand what is the kind of project situation I am in. So when you say, no, I have this party plan, no, I have to go here, no, my parents are visiting, I have to be there, no, I have already promised my wife to go for a movie, all that thing. So you have to force empathy. So in my situation, what I'll say is, okay, if you were the project manager, so this is the status of the project. So if you were me, what will you do? So when people don't understand you, when they don't want to empathize with you, I will force it on them, saying that, what if you were in my position and what will you do? Do you think it makes sense? So empathy, you have to understand people. At the same time, when people don't understand you can also force it on them and say that, what if you were in my situation? Okay, so it is very, very important that in a project you need to be empathetic. That is when you can succeed, because not just the project situation matters. I know delivery is important. At the same time, we are working with people's minds, so it's not robots. So we need to know the feelings is very important. And actually, as a project manager, for me the problem is I am more feeling-oriented person. So sometimes I suffer because of that, because people take advantage over it. But that's a different story altogether. So the feelings is very important because we are all human beings. Okay, this is the fourth tip we have. How much time I have, Julie?
Actually, we are running short of time, Priya, already. Half an hour more.
Half an hour already. Okay, I'll just quickly go through this. I'm not going to be very. So this is a project situation where we have the project manager. Multiple vendors have to be approached, and this is the kind of thing he has, because he is not able to prioritize. Prioritization in a project is very, very important, because so there the rule comes in 80-20. So what 80-20 is, 80% of the time you'll be following only 20 of those things. Let's say we have 100 and only 20 is being repeated or very important. So I'm just saying 80% of the time I am only worried about those 20. Okay. So here you focus on what really matters. So you just look into that current deliverable for what is the status report you are going to send for this particular week. So you make a note on prioritizing only those things which are important at present. So you can really look into the critical path of the project, right? Or the important tasks and activities related to the time and cost, because that is most important. Or you need to work on the key stakeholders, because the people are important, right? The key stakeholders, only those people related, you concentrate on it. Or the significant risk. If there is if you are going to have significant risk. So you concentrate on those kind of risk, which will basically give you the 80% of the results. So when you don't know how to prioritize things, go into this 80-20 rule. Okay, so we went into, we just looked into challenging projects at challenging times. So leadership is critical. And I have provided you 4 different tips to help you succeed. So you are now armed. Okay, so you can connect me, and only for the attendees of this book, this session, we have a special discount. So if you can contact me directly, so this is my priya@keyresults.com, or you can even connect through any other means, LinkedIn or whatever, or you can even connect through Julie, so it's not a problem. So if you can message me, I can give you a discount code to get our book, Say Yes to Project Success. Okay, thank you guys. I think I'm sorry I couldn't get your questions. Please feel free to send them. I will be able to answer.